Yo, what's going on, guys? KrispyFlakes here. So some news has been released for MyGM / MyLeague mode for NBA 2K20. And I'm not gonna lie, I definitely thought that this year was gonna be a big time transition year for 2K as they go into the next gen system. I kind of thought that there would just not be a lot of new features for NBA 2K20. Now, what I am seeing though, I've not really gone through this article all that much. I'm actually gonna go through mostly the pictures and kind of talk about the headlines. If you guys do want to read the entire thing, link to in the description below, because you can see right here is a 19-minute read. So I'm sure you guys don't want to listen to me just read this for 19 minutes. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I will say that they always kind of advertise it more into the realm of MyGM than they do MyLeague. And I'm not really quite sure why, because as far as I know, 99% of YouTubers at least play MyLeague mode. I'm not sure how many people collectively play MyGM outside, of the 2K community. But I do know that, like last year, for example, a lot of people just thought MyGM was annoying. Now, they had some nice features out there. I've always liked that there was more of an in-depth look into the team on MyGM mode, but just things like the cutscenes and not being able to put rookies into the mode. And I saw a comment earlier, somebody said, by the time you get to the 5th season, Trey Burke's asking for $500 million. So, I mean, there's just not enough tinkering ability in MyGM mode to really make a realistic simulation or series out of it for YouTube. So I know a lot of people don't play it for that reason, man. But, yeah, I guess before we get going on this, what are some things that I would kind of hope that would be added, at least to the MyLeague end of things? I really only have two big-time gripes. I mean, yes, there's room to really improve a lot of things out there. I would love if they did something like had the Olympics in there, or FIBA. Maybe do a bit more with the G League. G League, I think there's a lot to be desired there. I think that player training and development, instead of just looking at stuff, I want to be able to experience it a bit more. But I don't think that type of stuff's going to be in here. So my two biggest gripes I wish there was kind of more choices in MyLeague mode. And I'm not talking about going to a cutscene and listen to I don't know, man, Thaddeus Young bitch about being on the Chicago Bulls or something. I don't know, man, just whatever. That's not what I want. I just want, as I'm simulating, maybe a question to pop up where, Derrick Rose is blah, 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 blah. Here are 4 choices, and those choices actually mean something. I would love for something like that to be added to the game. Not every single week or anything like that, just every now and then to add a little bit more spice out there. And also, because 2K obviously last year lied to us about the downloadable draft classes. They're like, yes, we have draft classes going back to 1970. And then you go on there and there's 5 players on each one. And then there's just 55 generated players. So it's really pointless to even use. So I would absolutely love if they were to update those completely. It's there's nothing holding them back from doing that except laziness. Literally, you have stats and rosters and you have a team that can just go back and look at every season's rosters and just put guys in there. I'm sure there's already the player DNA to some extent, as there's been so many 2K games. So since they don't want to do that, oftentimes what I'll do, let's say I'm doing a 2003 rebuild and I'll download a 2003 draft class. The issue is that there is no way to see which roster is the best one, because what you'll do is there'll be 100 files for 2003 draft class. So you'll go to the one that's the most downloaded. What happens is a little chain reaction gets going where people keep on seeing that's the most downloaded one. So they keep on clicking on it thinking, okay, this must be real. And then you go on there and it's just not what it says it is. It's the most annoying damn thing ever. So I would love if there was a rating system, scaled from 1 to 5 or a 5-star system to say okay, this roster right here is good or trash. I think that'd be really cool. But yeah, so this is just a few minor wish list things for me, so we'll see if those appear in here. I don't think they will. So this first screenshot we're seeing up here, man, looks like it's the calendar, probably more so for, I mean, it's probably be the same lookout for MyLeague mode too, and it's really not too bad. Your basic stuff out there. You got your overview, you got chit chat with Danny Green, Rajon Rondo. I do like how it's yellow and purple right there, because obviously this is the Lakers, so maybe this color changes based off the team you're using. I would like that a lot. It just gives more of a theme to the video. Team status, calendar, social media, trading blocks. So same song and dance there. Of course, you got the task and the goals. You got the experience points, score, action points, bank points. So yeah, that's definitely more MyGM mode, but I think they would probably maybe match up a little bit there. So yeah, you got the MyGM 2.0 overview. Pretty much this is just kind of talking about how fans had some annoyances last year with it, and they want to go out there and do some minor tweaks, which I said, man, this is the year of the minor tweak. So a few of the new features, an overview, action points, score, and leaderboards. I saw this and I was like, that is really interesting, man, because I was saying probably 2 years ago how interesting it would be to have like competitive MyLeague and have like people like rebuild against each other. And of course, you know, 2K's not doing that. There ain't really a lot of money there, but I don't know, man. Like, this is at least a good step in that direction. You have skills featuring a new skill tree and an updated leveling structure, so that's definitely for more for MyGM, which is cool. You know, instead of just having to go the same route, you can branch out your MyGM, your owner dude, and kind of make them cater towards a certain style. So that's not bad as long as it's done right. A completely new task system that's good. You got to keep things fresh like that. If you're doing the same task over and over, it gets boring. Revamped relationships. This is where I do think that more dialogue and just choices could be done in a better way. And then of course, you know, sponsorships and branding. So I gotta imagine that's got to be okay. You have a meeting with Mountain Dew and you want them to be sponsored on your billboards. They will give you, you know, 2 VC to be a sponsor next game. I think that's not too bad, I guess. MyGM, everyone is welcome. Yeah, built and what? Yeah, blah blah blah. Design philosophy. So to increase the number of meaningful decisions made by the players, I like that. Make the entire system more and fun for new and old players. After pondering how best to make point number 1 happen, we moved to the new heart of MyGM 2.0. So this is the action point system. So action points per day. So I gotta imagine these are like, let's imagine you're playing like a mobile game, right? And you're playing, I don't know, whatever. And it's one of those games where, all right, you can do this amount of things during this day, then you gotta wait 5 hours. I gotta imagine it's gonna be kind of like this, where you can't just go out there on day 1 and do everything right away. You gotta earn action points to do that, which, I mean, I could find being annoying, but at the same time, give you a reason to play instead of just like, okay, I'm gonna raise hot dog prices 30 cents, and then I'm gonna do this. It's like, no, you gotta feel it out. You gotta use your action points to make choices that are going to help you today and in the long term. So that's kind of cool. Next up, we got a score and leaderboard. Things that help improve your team will earn you experience. Things that help show off your prowess as a GM will earn you a score. Okay. So yeah, this is the leaderboard right here, man. And it looks like you have actual like usernames. You have their rank, date, score, and team. The difficulty aspect is kind of interesting. Like, what makes a MyGM mode easy, medium, or hard? Like, is that going to be the choices you have to make? Or is that going to be more so the gameplay? Which I don't know if that would make sense, because, like, simulation, maybe the simulation is tougher, which is interesting to think about. I just hope that they really, like, actual manage this, because I could totally see this theme being a thing where 2K's like, all right, we're going to put this in the game. And then they just don't do it, and freaking Alfonso or Kool-Aid right here find a way to exploit some sort of glitch in the game so they have a score of 99999 repeating, and that's just it, and it's not really like a true leaderboard. That happens with games a lot. So yeah, but it's very interesting though, man. Like, that actually gives me a reason to really want to play the mode. It's like, yo, I want to be that #1 ranked person on the MyGM mode. So I don't really know how like simulation plays into that too, because if you can just like simulate 20 seasons, you feel like it'd be easy to get your score up quickly. Maybe if you actually simulate games, you don't, or simulate certain days, you don't get points for that. I think that'd be a good way to do it. But no, leaderboard, interesting. Maybe it's just my confidence in 2K that thinks they're not going to execute it very nicely, but I like the idea of it. Of course, you got a leveling system, so each save starts from level 1. Yeah, I guess like previously, if you were 90, like level 99 owner, then eventually would you still be a 99 owner like in a different save file? Because I do like the idea of just starting from level 1, because that's how it is in most video games, right? It's like if you're playing Skyrim and you are bitch-ass Dragonborn, you get up to level 100, but then you start a new file. Like, you want to start from level 1, you want to start level 100 bitch-ass Dragonborn again. You want to be a new bitch-ass Dragonborn. So yeah, each level starts from level 1. You gain experience by making the team better. I mean, that kind of goes without saying. Each save will end up around level 20. Okay. And then next up, we have a skill tree. So this is pretty cool right here, man. I love the idea of a branching system. I think games are so much better when they have something like this, because it's like I said, like I was saying earlier, like it just gives you a chance and a kind of a cool, I like the cool look too, like the star there, that's a very fresh design. I'm really liking that, but just allows you to be unique with your build, especially if there's a leaderboard. It's like your build might be better than somebody else's. Now, I can't imagine it's too in-depth, so I'm sure, you know, by the time the game's out for a week, there will probably be like searches or YouTube videos of the most optimal MyGM build. But yeah, so you got some things like leadership, diplomacy, insight, finance, and facilities. Very cool. We got the revamped relationship. So yeah, the relationship aspect of MyGM has always been kind of cool. Like I was saying though, like it can get annoying after a bit if you're getting like the same 5 cutscenes over and over. You simulate 2 games and you gotta do the loading screens. That's a big reason I don't do the mode. It's not plausible. It's just not plausible. MyGM, we got revamped goals and tasks right here. So yeah, got the CFO just talking to you. So probably just some new little minor things, but they're not too much to talk about there. Everyone is welcome Redux. Okay. Additional MyLeague features. So I always say that I just hope they don't touch MyLeague too much because of course that's a big bulk of my content, a lot of other YouTubers content out there. So they were just like really screw up the mode where you can't do rebuilds anymore. That would just really suck. But so we got staff cards. We've had player cards and team cards for years now. It's time to add staff cards as well. They're pretty simple to carry over, a lot of information you expect. I actually like that a lot. So many times I'll see a coach has like an A+, C-, B potential, something like that, and that's the extent of it. I mean, you might know a little thing like play style or something, or coaching style, but a staff card is cool. Just kind of give you like an insight on like what that coach is going to bring to your team. That's cool. Revise morale and team chemistry. Should be a little more. Okay, so I'm actually going to read some of these here, guys, since MyLeague's more my thing. So we touched on this a bit over in MyGM 2.0, but we tweaked the morale and team chemistry formulas to make them a bit more dynamic. Now they'll continue to trend towards an equilibrium point every day, and the makeup of your team matters. Having greatly different work ethic will lower the equilibrium for your team, so putting together a winner should be a little bit more difficult, but more rewarding for those that are able to handle the system well. So that's interesting to think about. Not gonna lie, I normally turn off morale and team chemistry just because I thought they did a poor job of how to like manage it. So if there's a better way to do it, then yeah, I'll definitely use it next year. New personality badges for max players. Okay, so we got the media ringmaster. This player thrives in front of the camera. Warm weather fan. These are for the beachgoers that would rather play in warm temperature climates. Ooh, I could see that being annoying, man. Damn, like imagine being like well, I don't know. Do I say annoying or realistic? Because oftentimes it's like on any team, you could get any player if you really tried hard enough. So if you got like Jimmy Butler that wants to play for Miami, there ain't no way he's going to Minnesota to play. So, well, I mean, he's been there before. Detroit, or a place like that with colder weather. So that's interesting. I could see it limiting being able to do certain things with certain teams, which is a bit realistic, actually. We got the history and records. We can now pull the player models or portraits when viewing the team history page. Not a huge change, but we think it looks pretty neat. It helps give an even better sense of history as you progress through MyLeague. Interesting. Improved draft class authenticity to the current NBA. Nobody's going to use this. We all download the rosters. So I don't know if it's like a licensing thing where 2K cannot use actual college players, but we're all just day one going to be downloading. So nobody's even going to use this, auto-generated player thing. Nobody's going to. Improved player DNA. So I know this is definitely going to be big for the player creators out there. Me personally, I don't really create a lot of players, and it seems like I can always find a realistic model of a guy out there. But if this makes it look even more realistic, I'm all for it. We got LT, RT to quickly scroll. Whenever you're ingesting sliders or numbers in pretty much any franchise mode, you can hold LT and RT to make scrolling go faster. Tweaking breakage sliders. Pretty sure I thought this was in the game already. Like, I thought it was already easy to do that stuff. But, if I can, make a... If I'm doing a video, every single player's in their prime, or every single player's 990 overall, I can make all that stuff 99 a lot quicker. That just helps things out. Option to force winners. Okay, I can see that being interesting maybe for some new what-if type of videos. As far as, like, rebuilds and stuff, you're not really going to want to mess with that at all because that would be cheating, essentially. So, yeah, I'm not going to sit there and force wins. I can't really see myself using that. And, listen, maybe for, like, a what-if thing. Like what if the Atlanta Hawks won every single game? Or, I don't know, but then, there's other ways of doing that. So, closing thoughts. It's hard to believe another year's flown by and we wrap up this blog. That's true. 2K19 went by very quickly, it seems like. We spend every year discussing how best to put together your feedback along with what you think about each iteration of MyLeague, the best version ever. We've put a ton of time and care into improving the franchise mode, and once again, we're excited to see how everyone enjoys all the stuff this year. So, special thanks. Yeah. Okay, so I guess my biggest thoughts about this is that just the way they presented it this year, like last year, they really had some of the stuff on there hyped up. I mean, they were really hyping up the mode last year, and then, like I said, nobody really played it a lot. But I do like the pretty basic blog right here. It's fine, easy read, a few new things, nothing too crazy, but hopefully things to get the game at least a bit more smoother. So next year, I would say, what can you really expect from the MyLeague, MyGM community? Probably a lot of the same. I'm not really seeing a lot of opportunities here to really change up the content, which has been kind of the issue with MyLeague for the past few years now. So you'll probably see a lot more rebuilds from your favorite content creators. Probably see a lot of, same what ifs that you saw last year, man. I mean, it seems like every single year, every single MyLeague guy, including myself, we do a lot of same what ifs because the league does change, the game's different, and it just gives you a chance to really talk about things in a different way that maybe you didn't cover in your video the year or 2 years ago. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna be doing MyLeague again next year. MyGM, I'll probably tinker with it. We'll see if it's worth playing. But I will say, man, for me personally, this year is going to be a year of just change and growth and expansion. So while I will do rebuilds on, the weekly, I would like to actually dabble into some of other modes too. So we'll see how that all goes, guys. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed. Be sure to drop that like, subscribe if you're new to my channel, give me your thoughts on all this, and peace out, my friends.